falls in love with high school sweetheart and gets cheated on. In May of 2018 I at the time started dating my high school sweetheart, we will call him Calvin. I moved in with him shortly as he got honorable discharged from the Marines for medical reason. I moved out of my grandmother's house from Upper Marlboro, MD with him to Chase City, VA to this plot of land that was about 4 to 5 hours away from family and friends. Anyways, with him being the only child, because he was adopted, his mother gave him his grandparents' property. They are no longer living and have passed on, so it was just me, him, and my 4-year-old son and 87.5 acres of land. The property has 2 ponds on it with a very long driveway with a lot of trees, wildlife and space to start a new life and have a family on, or so I thought. The house was a single story with 3 bedrooms, with one of the bedrooms, master bedroom, having a full bathroom and a guest bathroom, full, and a section of the house which we called the trophy room. Just FYI, his grandfather used to be a big game hunter. This room had animals mounted all over the place with boxes of bullets everywhere. This room had a door that could be locked for child safety reason. There was a 2-way garage that was connected to the washer and dryer room that led to a separate section of the house we call the apartment. It had its own small kitchen, full bathroom with only one way out, a sliding patio door that led back to this 2-way garage. Behind the house was one huge barn where he kept everything needed to keep the property clean, like cutting the grass and maintaining the driveway. Also keep in mind we were living in the middle of nowhere in a small town where everyone knows everyone. Anyways, 2 years in our relationship goes by, we have our ups and downs. I have caught him cheating before, but this one tops to cake. So around this time I had just left my job working with Tractor Supply because his hours and mine's conflicted, and I decided to be a at-home mom and take care of the animals and keep the house clean, you know, normal mom/girlfriend stuff. We had 19 chickens, 8 ducks and 5 cats and a ball python. Most of the cats were outdoor cats. And most of the time I cooked dinner which he never ate, and cleaned the whole house which I was never thanked for, and kept the jungle under control until he got home. Around this time he recently decided to be a firefighter. This was around March of 2020 and had to attend a meeting. It was about 4:30ish p.m. and he came back home around 7ish p.m. We lived really close to town, about 5 to 10 minutes away, which is where the firehouse is. Me still having trust issues with him, he decided to give me his captain's number to contact if I could reach him, and his meeting was supposed to be only an hour long. When he returned it was dark outside and he came in with the biggest smile on his face. Started up a conversation with me that had me all happy and giddy and chatty. As we were talking he asked me to help him with a project. Of course I decided to help. While playing Animal Crossing on my Switch and doing his small project that he asked me to help with, I noticed he left out the side door to the 2-way garage to do something. 5 minutes goes by, he came back into the house leaving the light on in the garage and in the laundry room. I thought it was weird because he tends to keep the lights off so the electric bill won't be so high. I then remembered I have to get the chickens and ducks more food. I asked to use the car to go to Tractor Supply. He agreed. I got dressed and left out. Upon getting in the car, it was a 2016 Subaru Outback BTW. I noticed a box in the back seat. I'm always leaving stuff in the car, so I thought it was mine's cause it had a few things in it that looked like it wasn't his. My phone was turned off at the time. Went to the store. It was a 30 minutes drive there and a 30 minutes drive back from the South Hill area where the Tractor Supply was. As I was pulling up to the house, driving down this long ass driveway and parking the car, I noticed the front door was wide open, the porch light was on, all the lights in the living room was on, including the kitchen light, and both sides of the 2-way garage was open with those lights as well. I came into the house and asked Calvin to get the food out for me cause those bags was heavy as hell. I asked why all the light was on. He said someone was here waiting for their friend to pick them up. I assumed it was the roommate's friend who was renting out the apartment. We will call him Dylan. Dylan and his girlfriend went out with her 3 kids, so I was confused on who this friend was, not pay to close attention to who this mystery person was. I went outside to feed the animals, did a few chores around the house, and decided to take a shower and freshen up to finish gaming and relaxing for the night. After I got dressed and dried my hair, I opened our bedroom door and walked in the hallway, closed the door behind and see a small skinny 5-6 feet tall girl come out our guest bathroom. The hallway light wasn't on, so I didn't get a good look at her. As I walk up to her, passing her, she says, "I like your nose ring." I reply, "Thanks." As I take a seat on the couch, I notice Calvin and this girl make eye contact as she leave for the garage. I ask Calvin, "Was that who you was talking about?" He says, "Yeah, that's Mary. She is waiting on Dylan's best friend to pick her up, maybe for drugs or something, I don't know." I shrugged it off. It's crazy how us women know when our boyfriends are doing stupid shit. It was like a bad sinking feeling in my stomach. The very next day, me and Calvin spent the day together because he was off, so we decided to watch a movie and cuddle on the couch. He fell asleep and I noticed he hid his phone between the couch cushion between me and him, so I played it off and got up to use the bathroom and left him on the couch. I waiting about 20 minutes or so before I put my plan into motion. I crawled on the floor like I was a secret agent and slowly took his phone. I am very smart when it comes to phones and computers, and found out he had Verizon. And if you must know, if you download the Verizon Messenger app on your phone, which is free, you can see all deleted and new messages on anyone's phone, but they need to have Verizon in order to use it. Anyways, I downloaded the app and put his number in, which sent a verification number that I had to put in to even see his messages. Then deleted the verification text messages off his phone and gave him back his phone and went through every message from my phone. This is where the story get really up. When I went to get food for the animals, remember when I said he was out longer than he was supposed to be for his firefighter meeting? The reason it took longer than it was supposed to was because he went to pick Mary up from her place to bring her back to our place, and he played it off like she got dropped off by someone. Cause I had the car to go to the store, he had her get out the car as soon as he got home, told her to go around the house to wait for him at the back door. There is a separate door you can go through in the two-way garage. The stuff that was in the back seat in that box was her stuff. While I was gone, he let her in while I was gone and had sex with her in our roommate's space on his bed, and continued to text her while I was in the same room as him. I confronted him, showing him the proof. Waking up from his nap, he was confused and I explained what I found, how I knew, and like most cheaters do, he lied to my face. I almost lost my cool and pulled a knife out on him, but at that point I lost faith in him. I packed all my stuff that same night, and as he was about to drive me home, not even 5 minutes away from the house, we pulled over and talked, deciding to take a break. So I packed a few things and he dropped me off to spend a week with my mom. We swapped phones. That was his way of proving he wouldn't talk to her no more, but you already know where this about to go. Him being dumb as hell, he forgot I had his phone, so even if his password for his Snapchat or any of his social media changed, I could change them to see what he was doing. As I looked at his snap, he had unblocked her, and that bitch was staying the night at our place, cuddling with my cats in my bed. She sent pictures to him, so I decided to pretend to be him and asked if she was still there, and she said she was. I called Dylan's girlfriend by phone. We will call her Rachel. We are still close friends to this day. I asked her to go over to the house to see if anyone was there. She said she didn't see anyone, but she texted me and told me she was in the house laying in our bed 002E. I messaged her threatening to call the police. She left out the house, and yes, I was sad. I cried and I was angry. He was the worst of the worst, and I wouldn't wish being cheated on, not on my worst enemy. To this day he is single. None of his friends talk to him anymore, and he always tries to text me pretending to be my friend, cause he could never have anyone better. And me, as of right now, in an amazing relationship with someone who respects me and my son. I have a job, my own place and a car, and also planning on getting married next year in October of 2024. Comment: what a loser he is, and that girl ain't no better. Disgusting. Thank you, I'm doing a lot better now. Smart when it comes to computers, you say, but this story was a tough read as the grammar and English errors were all over the place. Well, 1, I work night shifts, so I typed this half dead, and 2, why reply to be an S. Next story 2. My ex cheated on me for 5 months. He didn't even say sorry to me when I found out everything. I accepted his offer to be his girlfriend for nearly 2 years. It was a long-distance relationship, and we met on a dating app. 3 weeks ago, I found out he had cheated on me for around 5 months. I was still stupid to trust him unconditionally and didn't suspect anything unless I saw the notifications on his phone. He uses 2 phones, and I knew the passwords to both as he showed me. This is also the reason why I trusted him and did not check his phones before. Even though his family and relatives knew I was his girlfriend and had also met me a few times, they still introduced another woman to him and encouraged him to see her. They obviously disrespected me as if I were invisible. His cousins even hid everything from me and changed to the negative attitude toward me when questioned about that woman. She was on his side and assumed that her brother did the right thing when dating many girls at the same time. Even the uncle and cousin in Dalat also knew who I was, and it was him who told me and Jimmy that we should get married soon, but he invited that woman to travel with Jimmy's mom and dad to Dalat and pretended not to know anything about me. Imagine if I didn't know for many years. Thank God, I found out everything. Instead of making it clear to that woman, he obeyed his mom and said that he was still single and wanted to know more about her. They talked to each other for 5 months through texts and calls. Until last month, he came to Vietnam, and they saw each other in person before he flew to my city to see me. When I read the conversations between them, I felt something was wrong, so I asked him who she was. He had a chance to tell me the truth in the beginning, but he didn't and kept lying to me by saying that woman was his cousin in Tay Ninh and he had just met her for the first time. I trusted him again, but thanks to the messages from his brother, that helped me to know the truth. I'm still impressed with the message from his brother: shop around and choose the best one from the best quality ones. Although he knew his brother was dating me, he still told him to see as many girls as possible. I felt how they disrespected women and thought of us like objects. Then I asked him for the reason, but he was not responsible for his actions and blamed them on his mom, saying that she liked her, so he just listened to her and met that woman, although he did not like her at all. When I told him to make it clear to that woman, he hesitated, not wanting to tell it straight to her, and said that he did not want to hurt anyone. I would not get hurt if he didn't offer me to be his girlfriend first. I started to know he was cheating on me when we were in Thailand the first night, and everything became worse the following days. After coming back from the Thailand trip, I felt so down and was in an unstable mood. I tried to maintain the relationship, but it's really hard to avoid a sense of betrayal. I no longer trust him, so I checked the second phone, and there was another woman. He also flirted with her while speaking sweet words to me. He told me she was his friend from high school, but I don't know whether he told me the truth or not. However, when she asked him if he dated any girls, he still answered no and said he was single. Then I used his phone to text her because I didn't want him to keep fooling her as he did to me with the content. Hi T, I watched John Wick in Thailand with my girlfriend. It was a good movie, and I love it. The next morning, after I left the room to go to work, he texted her that there's no girlfriend here, it's a spam message, and he didn't forget to attach a selfie of him alone on the bed as proof for his words. I could not put up with it anymore when I found out that, instead of feeling shame, he got mad at me. We had a big fight then. The one thing that surprised me the most was that he did not say sorry to me until I asked him why he did this stuff to me. I was very afraid of the way he looked at me with furious eyes, as if he might beat me then, so I lowered my voice and tried to keep him calm to stay away from violence. He cried in front of me like a kid and said he felt guilty for me, but I know he lied to me again as he avoided eye contact when saying that. After all, I realized that everything was his fault. Nobody can force a 40-year-old man with full awareness to do anything that he doesn't want. He thought about cheating on me since he started to text that woman first. He said I was his girlfriend, he really cared about me, but when I posted something and tagged his name, he would set only me mode so that nobody could see it. His actions seemed to conflict with his words. To make an excuse for his wrongs, he always says I don't like everyone to know my personal stuff. Do personal things mean telling other girls that he is still single when in an exclusive relationship? The woman that his mom chose for him, Tried to glad hand his mom by showing all the messages that I texted her to his mom. Many unexpected twists dragged me down. I'm not a native English speaker. Although, I got mad at him when reading messages between him and his close friend Ruben. I was not sure about the meaning of puss and BJS. He took advantage of this and lied to me, saying they were slang for weeds and blaming me for always wanting to make a fight. A couple of weeks ago, he told me to want nobody contacts him and be alone for a while, but yesterday he swiped right on my friend's profile on Facebook dating. I was speechless when my friend told me this. Alone in his dictionary is defined as keep using dating apps. He showed his true color to me. I don't want any more girls to be fooled like me, so I decided to post about him. Comment. Sorry op. I don't want to indirectly say anything bad about you, but he looks like someone who needs to pay for sex anyways. You don't need to waste your time on further posts of him or anything else. Quit wasting your time on losers and be confident in your own time. To know yourself, sex and what you like. You can't have a boyfriend and not know what a BJ is. Not that y'all have to like it, but you need to not be the virgin girlfriend. And no, you don't have to do anything you don't want to with anyone. But stop being naive. If you don't know what the hell is going on in the rest of the world, you will be shocked, disappointed, and at a loss in every relationship. You need to be able to set boundaries. Or hair-wise, you could find yourself being pressured into things you really don't want to because you don't know what's going on. Stay strong. Head up. You sound like a headstrong girl. You got this. He didn't say sorry because he wasn't sorry, you were long distance so he thought could do he wanted. Please do not take him back. Good riddance. Cheaters cheat, it is what they do, make sure you stay away from him. He is lying, because he doesn't want to stop the behavior. Leave him. Took you long enough. I expect another post in the not too distant future saying you are still with this TW and he's still cheating.